This was interesting as well. This is from ESPN.com. It's a poll of analytics staffers from around the league as to which team uses the most analytics. So, which NFL team is the most analytically advanced overall? The Browns got 10 of 21 votes. Which team produces the highest level of analytics work? Browns got 9 out of 21 votes. Which team incorporates analytics the most into its decision making? Browns 8 out of 21. So the Browns were number one in all of those, and you see it's Browns, Ravens, Eagles, Browns, Eagles, Ravens. So it's not. It's kind of funny. There's a certain degree of analytics. Stay away from that. And the NFL is a huge business. Analytics is a way of justifying your decision making. So it's not saying, I think this is the way to go, or my gut tells me that. I don't think it's kind of amazing, and I'm sure you deal with it even more, that people think analytics is some kind of voodoo, that they go back there and they've got a little doll that they're sticking pins into.
Yeah, you know what? Look, we deal with it all the time, and it's about balancing it, right? And there's sometimes where gut checks and things you see on the field do win out, but it's about balancing both. And you just mentioned it. The analytics are always they're there to support the decisions and gather big sets of data, not just as a team, but as a league and the trends that are going on league wide. When you talk about play calls and what works, and look, why teams pass more than they run nowadays, or why certain coverages are called. We saw the same thing in baseball, right? And Paul DePodesta, of course, for the Browns, kind of the head of that whole analytics movement. He's a baseball guy. He's seen this in baseball, and you see every year now the teams that use more and more of those analytics in baseball, they're the ones that make the postseason. I think we're getting there in football. I know there are times with individual fourth down calls and percent. People are sick of hearing about percentages and stuff, but the idea is that if you do this certain principle of things over a long period of time, it's going to work more often than not. Nothing ever works 100%. Anytime something goes wrong, the analytics are, we shouldn't use them anymore. The old school, all the old coaches from the 60s all knew it all better than we do now. It's not necessarily the case, but it helps to have more information, right? So I think you're going to see it in football the same way you did in baseball. The more information you have, the more you can use, the better the trends are going to be for you.
Yeah, and again, you want to be ahead of the curve, not behind the curve. That's the idea behind analytics. Be up to date with what's happening in the league.
Absolutely. I mean, and if you're falling behind right now, you're seeing it. I mean, there's been a lot of talk this week about these too high coverages and preventing explosive plays and not letting quarterbacks get over the top. Why is this happening? Because there's so many more quarterbacks that are like that, and offenses that are like that in college, where, hey, we're going to run the ball and then we're going to take shots, and it's this way or it's that way. And there's a lot in between. And if you make quarterbacks in the NFL right now, especially a lot of the young ones, make them work in between in that shorter range, having to pick apart zone defenses and things like that, and just not giving them home runs. You're seeing right now the quarterbacks who are content to take shorter plays and just move the chains. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are succeeding right now more than, I look in the Browns game last week with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had the highest average depth of target in his career last week, okay? Too many deep shots against a really good defense, and deep shots that's high variance football. We're seeing Anthony Richardson struggle with this. You can't only hit home runs, right? You have to be able to hit singles and move the chains. So the analytics play a part in all of that, whether you like it or not. Teams are going to more too high defenses because the numbers tell them to do it.